Hello, my name is Olurotimi Osha, and today I want to talk about how I was violated by rogue agents of Montgomery County Police Department, and they were acting in concert with other criminals in the building where I lived, at Glen Allen Avenue. That's 2301 Glen Allen Avenue, apartment 503, Silver Spring, Maryland, zip code 20906. The building is owned by Aon Management and also called Landmark at Glenmont. So I'm a law abiding American citizen. On April 16, 2023, I was falsely imprisoned by Montgomery County police officers who had no arrest warrants. There was no probable cause, but they were acting in concert um, rogue, with criminals who lived in the building, including their maintenance, and also rogue agents of the Department of the Navy and Department of Defense, in concert with Jide Iwariri, a lunatic Howard University professor. I've done videos discussing Jide Ibarre, so I'm not going to discuss him right now. I'm just going to talk about the unconstitutional actions of Montgomery County police officers. It violated 18 USC Section 241 and Section 242 and 42 USC Section 1983. That's malicious prosecution. The first sections I mentioned, that's deprivation of rights under color of law. They also ended up robbing me under color of law. The Montgomery County police officers include Demarcus Coleman, a Jeffrey Ray, Karen McDonald, and Sergeant Charles Drengwitz, and a Robert Sheehan. I think that's a lieutenant or a captain. There were about 40 of them who came, but the main officers who assaulted me, I was tasered during the interaction. I was shot in the head. Done videos talking about the assault on me. They didn't tell me why they were there, but they falsely imprisoned me. Their actions were illegal. They acted like gangsters, like criminals. And in fact, Montgomery County police officers are domestic terrorists, right? They're domestic terrorists. So they had initially drugged me. They had pretended that, well, they were coming for an emergency evaluation petition, following an assault on me on May 14, 2023, by Jide Iwariri and one Germashumi, an Ethiopian illegal alien who is also a criminal and a drug addict. So apparently, where I was living, there was a lot of drug activity going on there, and Montgomery County police officers work with these drug dealers. They're mainly foreign drug dealers, including Germashumi and his son, and some other younger men. They're drug dealers in the area. I don't do drugs. I've never used drugs, but I would discover that after I'd gone to the gym on May 15, 2023, I was coaxed by somebody who is in the Navy. His name is George Fortin or something like that. He's Haitian, and he was in the Navy, and he's also a pharmacist apparently. He was somebody I met at the gym. I didn't really know him well, but we'd been working out, and at the gym where I went to regularly on Belpre Road, I normally talked to him. He had never contacted me before, but bizarrely on May 15th, he asked me to come and join him at the gym. He'd never asked me to. He'd never contacted me before. He had my number, ages ago. I'd given it to him ago because he'd asked for it, but we never contacted each other because we met at the gym. I'm a friendly person, and so there are many people at the gym who knew me. I spoke with people at the gym because I was always at the gym every week, right? I normally share posts, pictures of myself working out at the gym on my Facebook, right? So I was at the gym because I was called to come to the gym. Later on, when I returned on May 15, 2023, I was initially out, by the way, at the gym, and CCTV can confirm this. I was threatened by a white old man, an ugly white old man with a beard who said he worked for the government. He said his name was David. So that was at the gym. I didn't respond. I was friendly. I was pleasant. I'm a pleasant person, you know. So when I went home, in any event, I went home and I subsequently, found that okay, I had been drugged. Not just, in fact, the drugging. Uh, on May 14, I was grabbed. I was held by Gurmashumi. Right, I was held, grabbed in by Jide Rere and Gurmashumi, a neighbor I'd never spoken with. This was is an Ethiopian guy, and so these people apparently are agent provocateurs for Montgomery County police officers. Later on, after I'd been assaulted and I was in the hospital, Gurmashumi would fabricate a peace order, uh, you know, falsifying that I had kidnapped him, right? And told him that I was law enforcement, all fabrications, right? Interestingly, he had my name and my date of birth, meaning he was one of the people. He had access, or he was one of the people who stole my wallet, because my wallet had my U.S. passport ID, my and then also my certificate of naturalization was stolen, which is a felony. But in any event, it was Montgomery County police officers who stole it because they removed me from my apartment. They also stole my cash. I had cash in the house. They stole my cash. They stole my debit card. From my debit card, they removed cash from my bank account, which is wire fraud as well. So they removed cash from my bank account. They stole my credit cards. They stole my wristwatches, my luxury wristwatches, my colognes, my perfumes. They stole, as I said, wristwatches, jewelry. They stole a bunch of other things, bracelets. Stole several things from my apartment. Stole my clothes, my glasses, my Ray Bans. Valentino. Designer glasses, things like that. My clothes. They stole things from my apartment generally. Uh, and that was Montgomery County police officers, including Demarcus Coleman and Jeffrey Ray and Karen McDonald, of course, acting in concert with um, Gurmashumi and his associates. So they also released chemical weapons into my apartment. At the hospital, I was told it was tear gas and pepper spray. But on that day, I thought I was thinking, is this crack or something? I don't think drugs or heroin, because they just released something into my apartment. They also violated my privacy rights because they removed me naked from my apartment in handcuffs and dumped me in the middle of suburban hospital lobby with my genitals exposed. They had jabbed me with a drug inside. Once they placed me in the ambulance, they drugged me with something in the ambulance, and they had women exposing me, violating my human rights, my dignity rights. I was completely naked in the lobby in handcuffs, all bloodied up because I was bleeding. They'd shot me with a taser dart. Police officer Jeffrey Ray, according to my attorney, Jeffrey Ray was the one who shot me with a taser dart in my head, in my forehead. Jeffrey Ray, in a court proceeding, had claimed his intention was to kill me with his Glock. So God helped me. He accidentally used his taser gun. Why these people came and attacked me in the ferocious and barbaric manner in which they did uh, is beyond me. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a criminal. I've never been arrested. In fact, I was working for the federal government as of that day. They acted in retaliation to cover up an Office of Special Counsel and Office of Inspector General complaint regarding fraud, waste, abuse, misconduct, and EEOC complaint that I filed concerning discrimination and harassment and sexual harassment. Now, apart from that, Montgomery County Police had a pattern of harassing me. Around October 2022, there was a female, she's a predator, right? Uh, Aon management tends to hire predators, right? And there was this woman who was supposed to be the assistant property manager or property manager or whatever, but she was a predator. And she and another one, leasing office manager, had been trying to talk to me, and I ignored them. I didn't want to talk to them. When I came back, I was going to the grocery store. When I returned, she creepily stalked me, followed me all the way to the elevator bank. I ignored her. So later on that day, they've now filed a false failure to pay notice on my door. They had been doxing me and I'd filed a complaint against them, right? It was after this that I filed a complaint against them. I wasn't owing any money. I'd paid several months in advance. They were probably discriminating against Africans in the building as well because other Africans were receiving it and they angrily moved out, even though they weren't owing anything. They were trying to move out the Africans in the building. So on that day, they had a sheriff. They came. I don't know who it was, but somebody posted something. Had put something on my door. When I heard, I was inside my apartment. When I heard the rustling at the door, I came out. There was nobody there, but I already saw that it posted another failure to pay notice on my door. I accidentally locked myself out. So when I went down, I was waiting for them to give me a key to reaccess my apartment. But they ignored me, attended to the white customers, ignored me intentionally for about 30 minutes. Then eventually, when I said I had to leave, they started, the hideous one. I mean, well, the one who had been stalking me, harassing me earlier in the day, now started shouting, making defamatory statements. And next thing, so fortunately, I had my phone and I was recording what was going on. So she now she now tells them to call 911. Police shows up. So when I went up, I went back upstairs. They let me in. So I was already reporting them to their headquarters. The headquarters is not in Maryland. It's somewhere in Pennsylvania. So I was calling them, reporting what had happened. They said they would investigate. So the police came without a warrant, came to search my apartment. Police now told me that, hey, they said I pulled out a gun on them. Never pulled out a gun on them. So see, that's the origin of these false police reports, false police statements. So that this is something I'm asking Africans to be very careful of. Many Americans, uh, many people in America are unhinged, right? They're mentally, they're not normal, stable people. You could see the way you've been seeing the indiscriminate killings. If you can avoid it, avoid staying in certain places because your life might be in danger. So these people endangered my life. The police officer who came was a black police officer, Officer Bright. I showed him the video and he spoke with the corporate office. The corporate office said, no, I'm a good customer. They're going to investigate the person who abused me. Apparently, I learned she was fired. I don't know how truthful that statement was. But the thing is, the guy saw the video and then he now told me that, okay, they harassed me. He asked me to come and file a complaint. They could do a restraining order against her if she harasses me again. Next time if I ever call the police, they'll arrest her. But because she was a black person, I thought she probably had kids. By the way, she claimed the state attorney was her husband. That was what she claimed. I don't know if she was delusional. I don't know if she's the girlfriend of the state attorney, but she claimed the state attorney was her husband. I saw the state attorney, John McCarthy, is a white guy. This was a black woman. I don't know how what she was saying, but that was what she was saying. I recorded I recorded I have a recording of it. So I don't know if that has anything to do with the malicious prosecution by Jen McCarthy against me. I have no idea. But in any event, the guy asked me to move out of the building for my own safety. He asked me how much I was paying. I told him that was none of his business. He said, "Oh, I can get a cheaper place." It was none of his. I could get a better place for the same price. It was none of his business. But I'm a pleasant person. I wasn't confrontational. He left. He asked me to come and file a statement against her. I asked him, was he going to file a charge for making a false police statement because she made a false police statement, right? That's filing a false police report. But he didn't, right? He said he was just going to issue a warning. I filed a complaint against them. The Office of Attorney General started investigating, and then around May, April, May, sent them notices. It was around that time that they now swatted me. Montgomery County police officers swatted me. Around that time, of course, as I said, I was drugged. I realized I was drugged. I'd been drugged. It spiked laced my food. I think I suspected what it was that they had spiked. I'm not going to mention that in this video, but I realized I'd been drugged. My food had been spiked with some kind of with a narcotic. I don't take drugs. That's a very serious crime. That's actually like attempted murder as well, because the dosage, they could have, I could have been OD'd, on whatever drugs that they used, right? So they then orchestrated with Montgomery County Police, now orchestrated the swatting. They orchestrated, engineered an emergency evaluation petition using Jide Iwarere, who falsified what was in, everything that was inside the petition. In any event, so what happened was an armed robbery under color of law. In terms of Montgomery County removing me, violating my right to privacy by removing me naked, right, and dumping me completely naked, with all my whole everything exposed in handcuffs in a dehumanizing manner, in a at a hospital, and then filing a false report with the hospital saying I was a homeless psychotic without any relatives. That was Montgomery County Police. Their objective was to get them to commit me and forcefully medicate me, or so it was defamatory because everything they did was a lie. They had just come and kidnapped me under color of law from my home. So that was a kidnapping under color of law. It was an extensive operation, so I realized it wasn't just Montgomery County Police and the thuggish people. Uh, Officer Bright had initially, before the October 2022, when uh, the uh, the hideous property manager woman had made the false 911 call. He had been used. One day he had harassed me when I was coming back from work. They had been used to intimidate me, and so they were spreading this disinformation that I was FBI. Uh, so later on, I guess after I was wrongfully detained, that was when I learned that apparently ghetto colloquialism is to call anybody who works for the federal government FBI. They call cops FBI. That's apparently that's like thug colloquialism, right? Everybody's FBI that works for the government, right? Um, I'm not FBI, so I don't know. It was just a strange. I've never made those claims, but the thing is, I was working in the Department of Defense, and so they had my offer letter when I moved, because I moved to that building from New York. I got the apartment while I was living in New York, and it was one of the requirements. They wanted to have my offer letter, for me to move, and so they had that. So they were spreading these false stuff. I don't know if it was maybe I don't know if they felt threatened by the drug activity they had, that maybe somebody working for the government, could undermine or jeopardize their drug dealing activities. But those police officers, including uh, Demarcus Coleman was probably, I don't know if he's the one who has dreads. There's a police officer who has dreads. A black guy walks in a slovenly manner, slouches. Um, and he came into my apartment dressed like he was maintenance around around April 2023, just before the incidents. After I'd been shot and I was in the hospital, he came into my unit and I saw him, came to look at me, and I checked on me and I saw, okay, so this guy was actually really a cop, because he was not dressed like a cop. But he had come into my apartment taking pictures of my apartment, pretending that he came to he was pretending that he came to check the light bulbs. So that was illegal, right? That was a violation. I'm not a drug dealer. I don't do crime. But they came and they violated my privacy rights. They also violated the Fourth Amendment, illegal search, unreasonable search and seizure. So they violated my 14th Amendment rights as well. So Montgomery County police officers are gangsters. On top of all of that, they now filed, DeMarcus Coleman then filed a fabricated charge statement alleging that I committed a felony assault on them. All of those were dismissed, but it was defamatory. I was locked up, and so they assaulted me. I never assaulted any one of them. They forcibly imprisoned me by blocking, uh, impeding my ability to leave my apartment. They used a heavy band, to lock me inside my apartment and block my peephole. When I came out, I saw they were heavily armed, pointing guns at me. Lots of cops in my corridor. They had evacuated my building, spread disinformation to my neighbors, lying that I was I was a criminal holding a woman hostage in my apartment, a fabrication. They had also gone to um, engineer um, a false emergency uh, evaluation petition using Jide Wariri. Now, all of that is called a swatting as well. It's called a swatting. That's when a false police report is made in order to generate um, an armed police presence in which the interaction leads to violence. It often leads to death. God was with me. I was not killed, but I was severely injured. There permanent scars all over my body, and of course, these lines on my head. Those are the scars from the stitches where Jeffrey Ray shot me in the head. So with a with a projectile. So I'm fortunate that I'm alive. But Montgomery County police officers are criminals who carry a badge. They're domestic terrorists. They're gangsters. Their associates are drug dealers and criminals. They fabricated charge statements, falsified, orchestrated false flag operation with rogue agents of the Department of the Navy at the behest of rogue agents in the Department of Defense like Kirsten Risbeck and Jamie A. Simon. Um, by the way, DeMarcus Coleman is also a military reserve. So is Navy Marines Reserve or something. And so is Henjin Chen. Henjin Chen is another criminal. He's a military reserve as well. They fabricated their police reports. These are all illegal, they're felonies. And I'm drawing attention that Americans, should be aware that we have criminal gangs that have infiltrated Montgomery County Police Department. Montgomery County is right next to Washington, D.C. They get a lot of money from the government. A lot of our politicians live around there. And, it's uh, it's it's abysmal that the nation's capital should be, within proximity uh, of these egregious crimes that are going on under color of law. Uh, anyway, I'll continue with these videos, but I just wanted to do this specific one, calling out the criminal conduct of Montgomery County Police um, officers, their police misconduct in violating my human rights and committing armed robbery and assault under color of law, and fabricating uh, police reports, falsifying evidence, fabricating evidence, and being aided and abetted by a corrupt judge, Judge James Bonifant, and the prosecutorial misconduct of John McCarthy and John David Lawless and uh, uh, Thea F. Zummels. My name is Olurotimi Osha. I'll keep you posted. Thank you.